Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Masculine Minute. I would like to welcome all the masculine men and all the women who are lovers of masculine men. Welcome to the show. Today is Thursday, July 13th, 2023. I'm continuing on in this fourth day of my solo adventure, my solo mission without my partner in crime, Joshua, the ultimate warrior Gillo. But I am here today for you. My name is Ace, as you probably already know, but I will like to talk to you today about something that we all go through in life. And I got this from one of the questions of the game, How Deep Will You Go? It is a level 2 card, and you cannot see. Oh, there we go. Boom. Level 2 Confessions. All right. The question is, what are you currently addicted to? I'm glad they put in the word currently, because there are a bunch of addictions that I have worked through in my life. And if you listen to me long enough, you'll hear them, I'm sure. So, what am I currently addicted to? Well, for about the last 11 days, I have gone without caffeine, without coffee. I am a huge coffee fan. I love coffee, as I'm sure most of you listening love either caffeine or coffee or some combination of the two. I've gone, like I said, I think about 11 days already without it. I went through withdrawals. That's the first sign of addiction, right? You got to go through the withdrawal process. So I went through my withdrawals, headaches, irritation, things like that. And that is something that I wanted out of my life, probably temporarily, because I do love coffee and I will go back to it probably at some point. However, it got to the point where if you're drinking enough caffeine that you get headaches when you go a day without it, you're overindulging. And that's kind of the habit or the rhythm I would find myself into. I did this with alcohol as well, where the pattern was you would go a little bit, keep it under control, go a little bit more, go a little bit more, go a little bit more until boom, something happens. I decided to get off caffeine this last time because I noticed that my rule of having 1 to 2 cups a day before noon, I was going above that. I was having probably about 3 to 4 cups a morning, and I usually didn't have it after noon because I knew it would wreck my sleep. For me personally, I can't have caffeine in the afternoon or else I will not sleep. I will stare at the ceiling. But I noticed that the coffee, in addition to the quantity increase, the effectiveness wasn't there anymore. I was still groggy. I was still tired at times. And so the whole reason I would drink caffeine wasn't working anymore. And so I decided to get off of it. So I've been off of it. But coffee is a pretty easy example. I would say something else that I'm addicted to is not necessarily my phone, but I will pick up my phone many, many times throughout the day to check email. Addicted to checking email. It sounds so weird, right? But that was just a habit I formed. I feel like if I didn't have my phone on me, that would be weird. But in addition, if I wasn't checking it constantly, hey, are there any emails? Hey, are there any emails? Talk about a lack of focus and a lack of productivity throughout the day if I'm constantly getting sidetracked by what emails are coming in. And the thing about emails too, if they do come in, then I would start to answer them and I would work on those emails rather than working on whatever project I had to work on. So, what I told myself there is you check emails at the beginning of the day and you check emails at lunch and then you check emails at the end of the day. And if you do that, it's going to cover all bases. Unless there's something important that needs to happen, stay focused on your projects. Stay focused on whatever the most important things that day are. Now, if it involves emails, if the important task does involve emails, that's one thing. But just to check emails for email's sake and get myself sidetracked, that was not a very good use of my time. And then I would say the third thing that I'm currently addicted to, and I didn't realize this until I went to a Joe Dispenza event and really dug. If you don't know Joe Dispenza, he's really big on meditation and changing your nervous system through meditation. Just phenomenal, man. Phenomenal work that he does. If you don't know who he is, definitely check him out. He's he's something else, that's for sure. However, I went to this Joe Dispenza event back in April, and they had talked about negative emotions and beliefs, that we could be addicted to our emotions, that we could be addicted to our beliefs. And I found myself during those meditations that I was addicted to emotions such as anger, worry, anxiety, stress. And you would think, like, why would you be addicted to those? Well, I was comfortable with them. They weren't really serving me. Negative emotions rarely serve us. Instead, we are serving them. But it was what I was comfortable with. And all addictions are things that we feel comfort from. Now, yes, alcohol, drugs, caffeine, all of those things give us more certainty. They give us a good feeling. But anytime you pick up a cigarette, you know what's going to happen. You know how you're going to feel. You're going to know the smell, and you've wired that into your nervous system so innately. Someone had told me the other day they had this belief that well, if it's not one thing, it's something else. If it's not a drug or alcohol, I'm going to have an addiction to something else because I have an addictive personality. Really? All right. You've got an addictive personality. I didn't say anything, but I just thought about that for a bit. Okay, so that's the story you're telling yourself. That's the meaning that you're giving to yourself because everything in your past might have pointed to addictive behaviors, whether yeah, it did involve drugs, alcohol, pornography, whatever. However, now the foundation of who you are is based off of addiction. I don't think that's very empowering. I don't want to be a person of addiction because that gives my power away. I don't want to give my power away. I want to keep my power. I don't want no one or anything in this world to control me. Not saying I want to control everything, but I don't want anything to control me because I believe I have the power to do whatever I want and I can change my beliefs. I can change those meanings. So for people to essentially say, well, you know, at least it's not drugs and it's working out. I'm addicted to working out. Hey, I work out 5 times a week. I do all these crazy things physically with my body. I wouldn't say I'm addicted to working out. I can go a day or 2 without working out. I choose to work out because I know how beneficial it is for my body, my mind, and my spirit. And it's become a lifestyle of mine, but I'm not addicted to working out. Yeah, if I miss a day, do I get a little bit off center? Well, of course. It's a habit. I'm used to doing it. But I don't go off the deep end and get irritable and frustrated. So I choose to live a life of not having any addictions. I choose a life to make the decision, do I want to give my power away or do I want to keep my power for me? And all you men listening out there, take survey of your life. What's going on? What are the things you find yourself giving your power to? Because those could be addictions. However, that doesn't mean you're an addict. I've gone to AA quite a few times in my life. I've been through the 12-step process too many times to count, but it never seemed to work. One of the things that was so frustrating about going to AA was, yeah, people might not have been drinking, but there was coffee everywhere. People were guzzling coffee like it was going out of style. People were smoking cigarettes like it was going out of style. They essentially just swapped one thing for the other. Anytime you change a habit, you got to fill it in with something else. That doesn't mean you take one addiction and fill it in with another addiction. You're not solving the problem. It's great that you're not drinking anymore, but how have you changed from the inside out if you're still powerless to your addictions of coffee, cigarettes, pornography, whatever the hell it is? So, men, I challenge you today to look at your life and ask yourself this question: what are you currently addicted to? I would love to hear from you. Please reach out to me. As I say every time, ace@superherobydesign.com is my email. Please email me. I'd love to just talk to you about what's going on with you. It's really as simple as that. So have a great day, everybody. I really appreciate everybody tuning in. Tomorrow is Friday in this wonderful July summer that we're having. So hug a friend, kiss your wife, high five your kid, be a kick-ass worker, boss, whatever you are today, and just live life fully. So I really appreciate y'all.